his colleagues made a historic move, shifting the capital of Virginia from Williamsburg to Richmond. They believed they would be safer farther inland. As Jefferson settled his family in a house on Richmond's Shockoe Hill, borrowed from an uncle by marriage, he had every reason to believe he was acting in a climate of extreme emergency. Charleston fell to the British on Wednesday, May 10, 1780. Jefferson was surrounded and he knew it. While we are threatened with a formidable attack from the northward on our Ohio settlements, and from the southern Indians on our frontiers convenient to them, Jefferson said in June 1780, our eastern country is exposed to invasion from the British Army in Carolina. There was another Tory uprising on the New River in Montgomery County in southwestern Virginia over the summer, as well as more Indian violence. Elected to a second year-long term as governor on Friday, June 2, 1780, Jefferson had no relief from bad news. In the closing weeks of August, Lord Cornwallis routed the American General Horatio Gates and the Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, and North Carolina militias at Camden, South Carolina. Jefferson was despondent. Citing the disaster which has lately befallen our army, he summoned the council to help him formulate an immediate and great exertion to stop the progress of the enemy. He knew his options were limited. The measures most likely to effect this are difficult both in choice and execution. At last, the most serious blow came. Beginning on Friday, December 29, 1780, Benedict Arnold, the American general who had become a traitor, selling himself to the British, led an invasion of Virginia. Word of the British attack off the Virginia Capes reached Richmond on New Year's morning, 1781. Living as long as he had in an era of exaggeration and of flawed reports, Jefferson was slow to credit the intelligence. A series of invasion rumors since 1777 had led to popular discontent.